Personal experience I had with President Obama was towards the end of my tenure at the White House. So every White House staffer, when you leave, you have the opportunity to have a departure photo with your family. And that's really cool because it's a great opportunity to bring in your family. You get to go to the Oval Office, you get to meet with the president, you get to take pictures. And so at that point, I had transferred to the Department of the Interior as a political appointee. And so I can remember myself, my mom, my dad, my younger brother and sister. We were the very first ones. You're in like a group of 10 families that are there that day. And they go, okay, Stephen Avila, okay, we're ready. The president's ready to see you now. And so you go across the hallway and right there outside the Oval Office, the president's right there. Hey, Stephen, good to see you. Come on in. Oh, come on, let's go. So turn around and kind of walk into the Oval Office, and the entire time you're thinking this is so unreal. He goes, oh, this must be Dad and Mom and, oh, brother and sister. And, you know, prior to going to the Oval Office, you write a little memo about yourself so that the president knows who you are. And, you know, at that point he asked me, oh, so how are you liking your new job? You know, how's it over there at the Interior Department? Oh, Sally Jewell, who's the secretary, isn't she great? She does such a great job. I go, yeah, she does. Yeah, it's a really great gig. And this was coming right off of the president's trip to Indian country in North Dakota. And he was only like the third president in American history to ever visit a Native American reservation. And so I told him, I go, you know, I just hope you know how much your visit has resonated with these people, the fact that you visited. You know, we see that every day in our work and just how much it means to them that you visit. And the president said, you know, I appreciate you saying that. Michelle and I were very drawn to the community there and to the kids there. And we want to actually invite those kids back to the White House and give them a Washington, D.C. experience. And actually, a few months later, they would in fact do that. And so we took some pictures and, you know, kind of asked my mom and my dad and my brother and my sister what they do and just kind of engaging in small talk. And I knew going into it that there were a few things that I wanted to say. And so at the end I said, you know, President Obama, I just want to thank you for a few reasons. One, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to work for you. This has been the absolute honor and privilege of my life. And yeah, I can remember when you first got elected in 2008 and watching you from my couch and watching you in Grant Park and how excited I was for our country. And so to be able to say that I was a part of this administration, it makes me, you know, very grateful to have served. So thank you. And secondly, I want to thank you on behalf of the LGBT community. Because, you know, working in the correspondence office, we got a lot of letters from people from around the country and around the world talking about how much it meant to them to hear their president elevate these issues and come out in support of marriage equality and don't ask, don't tell ending and, you know, LGBT rights being human rights. And I go in the fact, and at this point in time, actually, my voice started to crack and waver because I was getting a little emotional. And I said, in the fact that I can thank you as a member of the LGBT community in front of my family here in the Oval Office, it means a lot to me personally. And the president looked at me and said, I'm really proud of you. And he gave me a hug right there in front of the Resolute desk. And he said, you know, this is why I'm so proud and I have so much hope for our future because young people like you three, you know, and mentioning my brother and my sister, you know, you guys are out doing really great, incredible things and, you know, you care about what happens to this country and you're engaged and you're involved, you know, so much more than we ever were when we were kids, you know, right, Mom and Dad? You know, my mom and dad are just kind of sitting there silently. And he goes, so, you know, I appreciate you sharing that and thank you for all that you did for me. And, you know, we wrapped up and he gave everyone kind of hugs in my family. And as I was walking out, I said, you know, President Obama, I have to ask you one more thing. He goes, what's that? And I put up my fist to give him a fist bump. And we exploded as I walked out of the Oval Office, and that was my departure photo. And probably the highlight of my life thus far, anyway. If I could give myself a piece of advice 10 years ago, I think I would tell myself to love yourself, embrace who you are, and don't change who you are. because especially at that time in my life when I was so concerned about what everybody else thought about me, I didn't allow myself to truly be who I was. And a more confident Steven would tell a 16-year-old Steven to say, embrace yourself and people will love you for it, for just the way you are.